One leisurely Sunday, I visit my elderly grandmother. As I am about to leave, she tells me she has a Cadillac in the yard, and if I like it, she will give it to me. Thinking it's a great deal, I eagerly go out to check it out, only to find this. No shiny car like I imagined, just a dilapidated Cadillac that has been abandoned for 15 years. Let's take a look. The exterior has a few rust spots. The windshield seems to be in fairly good shape, still firmly attached to the frame. The wiper area is filled with dried leaves and dirt trapped inside. Opening the door, the smell of old relics is overwhelming. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Dirt cakes into every nook and cranny inside the car. The seats are cracked and worn. The back seat is missing, and all that's left is a pile of random wires. The headliner is completely rusted, but still intact. The floor, I should call it a combination of dust, dirt, and moss, and who knows if any squirrel has left its mark here. But fortunately, the wiring system underneath the floor is still relatively intact. The gas and brake pedals are still in pretty good shape. The dashboard isn't too bad either. Let's see what's in the glove compartment. Oh, it's the nest of some critter that's been abandoned for quite a while. Heading outside, I open the hood to check the engine. First, I check the fluid levels and the pressure gauge. Next, I use a tire pressure gauge to see if the tires can hold pressure. Moving to the rear tires, oh, thankfully this tire can still hold pressure. Highs, this car is in such poor condition. But after inspecting it, I decide to take this Cadillac, so I start towing it to my garage for a makeover. I hook a chain to the front of the car to pull it onto the tow truck. The wheels are misaligned, so I have to crawl into the car's interior, which is filled with that classic old smell, and steer the vehicle. Finally, it's aligned correctly, and the car is slowly being towed up. Once the car is securely on the tow truck, I still need to secure the rear wheels to prevent them from slipping during transport. After that, as I am about to say goodbye to my grandmother and cousin to head home, my cousin mentions there's also an Apache truck and an old Bronco, asking if I want those too. I check them out and they seem decent, but I have to decline. I still have a young wife and children at home, and bringing these two additional vehicles might mean I'd end up sleeping in the doghouse. So I say goodbye to my grandmother and brother and head home. People on the road clear the way for me, but why is that? After navigating through rugged terrain, I finally bring the Cadillac to my home garage. When I check on Google, I understand why everyone on the road is making way for me. It turns out this is a 1967 Cadillac, a super classic with high value in the car collector community. Oh, I love my grandmother so much, thank you so much. All right, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work on this beauty. First, I pop the hood to check the engine and find some leftover car cleaning bottles. Of course, I toss them aside. The wiring system still looks pretty good. Next, I check the air filter, master cylinder, and ignition system to ensure they're in good working order, or if they need replacement or further maintenance. I inspect the oil system to ensure there's no serious leakage. As you know, oil leaks can be extremely damaging to the engine. The components in the engine bay show signs of wear and rust, especially on the hoses and metal parts. However, there are no clear signs of oil leaks or severe damage. This is a good sign. Then, I check the condition of the battery, ensuring that the connections are secure and there's no sign of corrosion or damage. Opening the coolant reservoir, I see a greenish coolant level inside, indicating the reservoir still holds a certain amount of coolant. However, there's corrosion, rust, on the baffles and channels inside the reservoir, though the level of corrosion isn't too severe. Checking and maintaining the cooling system is crucial to ensure the engine doesn't overheat and operates efficiently. I use the dipstick to check the oil level and condition. The oil level is about an inch above the full mark, which indicates that the engine might have been slightly overfilled with oil. However, the oil is very clean, which is a good sign for the engine's condition. A quick check of the remaining components, and we're ready to go. I can't wait another moment to hear this car roar. First, I use a multimeter to check the battery voltage. The meter shows a voltage of 0.08 V, indicating there might be an issue with the battery or its connections. A fully charged car battery usually has a voltage of around 12.6 V to 12.8 V. The current reading suggests that the battery might be dead or faulty. After checking, I proceed to vacuum the engine bay, cleaning every nook and cranny until it's spotless. Once done, I blow out any remaining dust. The air filter has been removed from its position on the engine. This is an important component, responsible for filtering out dirt and small particles from the air before it enters the engine. The filter shows signs of severe dirt buildup with lots of debris, particles, and tree bark accumulated around it. It's understandable since the car hasn't been maintained for a long time. Plus, my grandmother's place is right on the edge of the forest, so it's possible that mice or other small animals have invaded. The filter has a steel shield to protect its interior. This shield helps prevent larger debris and tree bark from entering the engine's air intake system. Despite the steel shield, the filter still accumulates dirt and small debris, requiring cleaning or replacement to ensure engine performance. No amount of grime can beat human effort. I vacuumed the debris, cleared the trash, and disposed of it. Next, I use a spray cleaner to clean the carburetor. The cleaner is sprayed onto the internal parts of the carburetor to dissolve the accumulated grime and help restore its function. PB Blaster is a penetrating and rust-preventive solution that helps remove grime and rust, lubricates mechanical parts, and ensures smooth operation. Meanwhile, Blaster's white lithium grease is a high-performance lubricant used in vehicle maintenance. Using white lithium grease helps lubricate mechanical parts, reduces friction, and ensures they operate smoothly. Then I move on to the wheels, removing metal shards embedded in the tires. The exterior is looking decent now. Next, I tackle the trunk area. It feels like wandering into a field of withered leaves, with all sorts of debris including decomposed leaves and ant nests. Among the mess, there are 2 spare tires and a set of 4 wheel rims. These wheel rims seem to be in pretty good condition and might be reusable. Wheel rims are an important part of the wheels, helping to protect the bolts and adding aesthetic value to the vehicle. All right, after assessing the trunk, it's time to clean up. I vacuum, scrape off the oxidation in the trunk area, and remove the mixture of grime and decomposed leaves stuck to the edges. After removing all the dirt from the trunk, it reveals several areas of rust through, indicating that the metal has corroded over time due to lack of use and maintenance. I continue to inspect the wheels. The wheel rim appears to be rusted and worn, with signs of corrosion around the hub holes and the vent holes on the rim. The wheel rim is covered by a tire, which also shows signs of wear. There's a chrome or stainless steel coating on the outer rim, but most of this coating has been damaged by rust. I throw some tools and necessary parts for maintenance and repair into the trunk. I temporarily close the trunk lid. Then I move on to the hood. I check the electrical system and ignition in the engine area. I verify if the ignition wires and related components are functioning properly. This includes checking voltage, circuit continuity, and inspecting if the wires are broken or damaged. There are indeed a lot of issues, right? Repairing, maintaining, and restoring a vehicle is never an easy task. Since this car has been unused for 15 years, several parts of the engine system still need repair. Now let's start the engine in the cockpit and see what happens. Oh, it starts, but the exhaust smoke isn't being filtered properly. So, I have to use DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, which plays an important role in reducing harmful emissions from diesel engines. Then, I add coolant and oil to the engine to maintain the vehicle's performance. It's getting late, and the repairs on the Cadillac are still not finished. So, I take a break and continue the next day, continuing the repair and restoration process of the Cadillac. First, I lift the car up and remove the wheels, cleaning them inside and out. The old tires are flat and deformed, so I discard them. Before installing the new tires, I use a pneumatic tool to clean the dirt and debris from the wheel rims. The new tires have arrived, and the wheels are now spotless. Time to mount the tires onto the wheels. Next, the wheels are installed onto the axle, and the wheel rims are attached to the wheels. Taking the car for a test drive, the engine seems to be running fine, but the steering wheel is loose. I continue by removing the seats to clean the interior of the car. So the repair and restoration of the Cadillac are somewhat complete. I take it for a spin. The other accessories are on their way and will continue once they arrive.